Hey folks, as promised, I'm going to try to get some more videos up here. So, Farmer Luke coming to you from the Farmer Luke YouTube channel and from Belding Hill Farms. We have two channels. Trying to keep the Belding Hill Farms one more entertaining, more educational, and the Farmer Luke one more just entertainment, seeing the animals and some of our other shenanigans, like today's adventure, which is checking on our maple syrup. So obviously not syrup yet, it's only sap. It has not been running very much up till this point, but I'm suspecting that today it's probably running. So probably hard to see in the video, but there is a tiny bed, and you can see a little bit down in the bucket. Oops. You can see a little bit of sap in there. And there's just a little, well there, you can see a little, when I come here, there's a little droplet forming on the bottom of that spile. So we have two different types of spiles out. We have this type, where we actually have a bucket hanging off of it. And then we have, see if we, where the next closest one is. Oh, there's one that's kind of close. So we have yellow and black buckets, but so this one here comes out, goes down the little tube and goes into the side of the bucket. I don't feel much in that one, so maybe we'll find one that's running a little better. So we've had these tapped for about a week, and nearly no sap has been running yet. But I kind of suspect that today it's going to run as good as it's run up till now. So you can kind of see there's lots of yellow buckets down there. And here's a couple here. Do I see much running there yet? Not yet, but it's also, it's only noon hour. So it's going to take a little time for everything to warm up here. But I think if we go and find a couple of buckets that are more in the sunlight, because that's one thing about this stand of trees, is that I've never ever managed this stand of trees for maple production. So we have a lot of like fir standing in here, and spruce and yellow birch and other things, and they're basically stopping the sun from hitting these trees. So maybe down the road I'll take some firewood out of here and start to thin this out a little bit. But I'm also quite confident that once the sun gets in here, these are going to produce as well. I mean, maybe I don't get as much production as if this was all thinned out, but we're not doing this as a commercial venture. We're doing this just to have maple syrup for ourselves. So, yeah, a little tiny bit of sap in that bucket. Not an awful lot. So it may be a bit early today for the sap. But I mean, this woodlot is not, this particular area of our woodlot is not like the ideal syrup location, because this hill that we're on is northwest facing, and your best kind of syrup production would come from a south facing slope. So when that sun comes up, because if you can see the sun up here, it has to come the whole way over top of my mountain before it can shine down on these trees. If this was south facing, basically as soon as the sun rises until it sets, it would stay sun on the trees all day long. So I expect that I'll get less overall sap from these trees because of that. But I also think I will still get sap. So let's see what this guy, oh, this guy's got a steady run going. I don't know if you can see it in the, hopefully the, let's see if I can zoom in on that. So I can zoom in. Is it gonna? It might be focusing on the tree there, maybe. I apologize for my shoddy camera work, but I was trying to get that so you could see, because I can see like all the sap in that hose. Yep. Just not going to get it, I don't think. It's keeping all the stuff in the background is kind of what it's focusing on. At any rate, it's a solid stream in this particular tap. So let me just set you down for 2 minutes here, and I'll just take the top off this bucket here, and I think you'll be able to see. I would expect it's basically a steady drip. Well, I say steady, but I guess it's not that steady. But you can see a little bubble of sap. There it goes. And you can kind of see it forming on the lower part of that. There it goes. I mean, it's somewhat steady. I mean, sap production is never going to be like it's running full steam ahead kind of thing. So I think in the end this will work pretty good. And down in the bucket you can see just starting to get some sap in there. Yeah. So yeah. So there's an example of our what we're doing. So we have 40 taps, is well 39 I guess, because we didn't have one. I think I miscounted when I did the when I bought the taps, and I had I missed one tap. I think I paid for the extra, but I don't think I got it. So yeah, so we'll wait and see, and I'm not even going to pretend at numbers. I mean, according to the Googler, they would say that you're going to get I think it said 6 to 10 gallons of sap per season per tap. But of course, there's a lot of variables. Like I said, the variable about where my trees are located, that's going to reduce my number. The fact that it's maybe not as warm here right now is going to reduce it. Maybe if our weather changes, it gets really warm too quickly, it's going to shorten the season. So there's a lot of things that could change with that. But still, generally speaking, we're going to end up with a fair bit of sap, is my guess. This one here is running as well. Not a lot, but there's a little bit in the bucket. A little bit, and it all adds up. So this time of year right now at the start, it's probably, I find this neat, there's been because I was in here tramping around and I put all these buckets in here, there's a deer that noticed that we did that, and then they had to come in and check out all these buckets. So they've walked to all the same places that I have. At any rate, the first part of the sap collecting, again, not like I'm saying this because I'm experienced, just the research, the sugar content will be lower than later. When the sap is in its prime, it's probably going to be like a 40-to-1. So for every 40 of these buckets, that would give me 1 bucket of syrup. But probably right now at this time of year, like when the sap is just starting to run, it could be 50, 60 of these buckets to get me 1 bucket kind of thing. So anyway, we'll see. After we're all said and done, we'll just see what we have. But the good news is that we're certainly producing a lot more syrup today than we have up until now. And it's obviously not the location of the tap. as far as in the sun goes. You want the whole tree to be in the sun. So this tree is getting some sun on it. So, and I would expect that to mean that it's going to produce some syrup or some sap. Now look at that. Now that bucket's completely empty. So, anyways, I also think I'm early in the day to be checking it. It's only, like I said, noon hour or so. So it's probably quite early to be checking. Because, of course, it takes time for the day to kind of warm up. Not much evidence there. A little tiny bit, but nothing. No, there's nothing really in that bucket. So, I mean, hopefully I never picked a really bad location for these trees. Like, hopefully it's not, like, hopefully we get some production. And again, because we're just doing it for ourselves, myself and Jill and our friend Andrew, we only need enough to have a little maple syrup's all we want. But man, these buckets are awfully empty. But today is also our first day that it's been warm. That one's got a little something in it. Boy, there's not much in that one. A little tiny bit. I can see a drop forming there, but anyways, I think that will improve. I'm hoping maybe I'll come do a video tomorrow and maybe the sap will just be running like crazy. I suspect not, but anyways, time will tell. And for me, probably my favorite place, even though I love the animals, I love the farm, I love all that stuff. If I need quiet time for me and I need my brain to settle, the best place I can ever be is in my woods. And I don't care what I'm doing. So to me, this was like a great excuse to spend a little bit more time in my woods. So I could care less if we get any maple syrup, honestly. This whole thing was just, it's just fun to try. I hope to get some maple syrup because Jill and I are really trying to provide for ourselves as much as we can. We're trying to really not rely on the commercial food production system in any way more than we need to. So this would just be one more nice thing to add to our larder or our pantry for the year. Put up, 10 or so liters of maple syrup. It'll be perfect. And I think the natural sugar is probably better than the artificial sugars. But anyways, that's just my theory. All right, folks. Well, it hasn't run the way I was hoping it might be over here today, but I think it's still going to. So maybe we'll check in again tomorrow on Sunday and see what we see. I'm going to apologize again for being very slack on getting videos done up lately. I've been doing a side project which has been occupying my mind more than anything. Well, it's been occupying my time too, but it's really my mind because it's a complex project and I'm trying to keep all the details sorted in my head, and then because of that I seem to not have much mental capacity for much else. So that's why I've been not very active on our YouTube channel, but I'm hoping once this project gets a little further advanced that I'll be able to get back to that. And I'm going to commit to this weekend trying to get a couple videos up like this one. All right, folks, have a great day. I guess we're this close. I could maybe check. This is our most productive tap here. I could check on him. And you can see, look at the sun that's all of a sudden on me. And you can see, so you're looking right up at the sun now. And it's wide out in the open here. This tree's getting lots of heat on it. So let's see what we see on this one. Oh yeah, I can see sap running there. I don't know if it's running steady or not, but it's running for sure. Sorry. Oh yeah. So this bucket here is maybe a third full. Somewhere around there. And look at it dripping. This is drip, drip, drip. So, if all my buckets were doing this, then I'd be laughing. But, again, that just goes to show that the location of your taps makes a big, big difference. Because this tree is in a very, very good location. So, and I have trees on my property that would be better locations, but the problem is they're, way, way back in the woods, and this is very close. I'm going to show you this is a main road kind of thing, and that's right in front of our house, and then you can see our house up there. So, I mean, this is very convenient location. All right, folks, I'm going to catch you later, and maybe we'll give you another update tomorrow. See you, folks. Farmer Luke saying goodbye.